to the 2024 Kyoya Hotels and Resorts HHSAA Girls State Water Polo Championships. From Kalani'o Pu'upu on the campus of Kamehameha Schools, Kapalama, it's Kamehameha and Punahou for the state championship. Well, how's it going, everybody? We welcome you poolside here at Kamehameha Schools alongside former University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine head coach Sherry Smart. I'm Jordan Helly. And Sherry, there's no better rivalry right now in Hawaii high school sports, no matter which athletic endeavor you want to talk about, than Punahou and Kamehameha in the pool. And these two teams will meet once again here for the sixth time this season and once again for the state title on the line.
Yeah, and in the previous 5 meetings, they had 3 overtime games. So in the 27 total quarters, there's been about a 4-point spread. Very evenly matched teams. This is going to be a really fun game.
Yeah, razor thin. These two teams splitting the last 2 state championships as well, with Kamehameha coming in as the defending champs. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from last night's semifinals. Kamehameha dispatching ILH rival Iolani 12-6 in the first semifinal. Ala Wong and Kaile Harvey with 3 goals each for Kamehameha in kind of a workmanlike victory over Iolani to advance to tonight's championship game. Of course, on the other side of the bracket, Punahou coming in this year as the ILH champ once again. Took quick work of Kaiser, the OIA runner-up in their semifinal, 15-1, 7 different goal scorers, Sherry.
Yeah, the distribution was really good for Punahou last night, and actually for Kamehameha against both of the teams that they played. Again, it's going to be a very exciting matchup. All the coaches, all the players, all the seniors, they are ready to go.
Yeah, this is the matchup everybody's sort of been anticipating, the 6th of the season, and of course, for all of the Marbles, we'll welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew. Let's send it over to Keely Leon.
Mahalo, Jordan. Tonight, from the visiting team, Kamehameha Schools, the player to watch out for, Kailelani Harvey, had 9 goals so far during this tournament and 27 overall for the 2024 season. She is primary center defender for Kamehameha Schools, but has had a massive impact on their offense. From the home team, Punahou, number 15, Sonova Robinson, also had 9 goals overall this tournament. She is ranked number 10 overall in the top scorers for the state, with 43 goals overall in the 2024 season. She's a state swim champion and uses that speed on offense to get goal after goal on the counterattack. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks a lot, Keely, as we are all set to go here at Kalani'o Pu'upu for the 8th straight state tournament. It's Punahou and Kamehameha in the final. Punahou, the home team, is the top seed in the tournament. They'll be in the dark blue caps, and Kamehameha in their home pool will be wearing the road white caps. Ala Wong and Reese Stallsmith in the sprint, and it'll be controlled here by Kamehameha. Glad to have you along with us here on Championship Saturday. A number of HHSAA sports, but taking center stage here at Kalani'o Pu'upu, it's the Buff and Blue and the Warriors. And Sherry, razor thin, you talked about it. What to you is the difference, at least here early on, and what could be a deciding factor between these two?
I think establishing center here is going to be a really big, important part of this matchup. There's an attempt by Harvey. Ball goes off the bar, and Kamehameha maintains possession.
Yeah, so it'll be a fresh 30 on the shot clock here for Kamehameha. Looking for Wong on a drive there, and the Punahou defense collapsing. So Kamehameha empty on its first possession. 7-minute quarters here at the high school level.
Yep, and the 30-second shot clock is actually new. It used to be a 35-second. This is our first season of a 30-second shot clock. Has not made an impact in this matchup so much because they are both quick teams. They have no problem setting up their offense in that amount of time. But if you notice, we're already down to 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Late in the shot clock, and Punahou have to get it off. Stallsmith expired while still in her grasps, and so a shot clock violation on Punahou's first turn in possession.
Yeah, they're going to take a couple minutes to feel each other out here. And if you notice, Harvey's going straight in immediately, draws a penalty.
So Kaile Harvey, the
Freshman.
9th grader, the freshman,
an
absolute standout, really even at the national level. So this is an early opportunity. It's going to be Ava Gurney for Kamehameha. 5-meter penalty. Chance to open the scoring, and she puts it over the bar.
First quarter jitters, I call that. Rhea Kimmy was ready for that in the goal. Ball was just a little high.
Yeah, Rhea Kimmy, goal for Punahou. On the other side, it's Makana Fake, the senior, and we get a
offensive foul somewhere at center, I believe, and there's a quick, see what we were talking about, the speed. Look at the speed on this right here.
Yeah, here's the other Wong sibling. This is Lutyi Wong inside. Kimmy got a tip, but it's going to be the opening score. And there is Lutyi Wong, the younger of the two Wong sisters, scored a goal in the semifinal and she opened the scoring here in the championship match.
Yeah, and this counterattack is deadly. That is an unbelievable move. They got a jump on the turnover and a nice outlet pass, and boom, right in. First goal, here we are, minute and a half in. Yeah, counterattack is key. And traditionally, and last year in particular, the counterattack is what kept Kamehameha in absolute prime form. They were extremely quick and dominated in that area. And they only reloaded when they got Kylie Harvey in there. So.
Punahou in possession here. This is Keilani Stewart for the Buff and Blue.
Yep, Keilani, the senior, here on the weak side. She's receiving the ball, calling for that. She's a senior basketball player. She goes high.
That shot comes late in the shot clock there. A couple of possessions, 2 out of the first 3 for Punahou, working it deep into the clock. As Kamehameha will work it the other way. You mentioned a little bit of the backstory right here, Sherry. Punahou has dominated the sport at the HHSAA level. 18 prior state championships sponsored by the HHSAA going back to 2004. Punahou's won 15 of those.
That's right, but the 2 of them have been matched up 16 of the times, I think, or what, is it 15 times? Something like that.
A number of times, yeah, in the last 8, and of course, Kamehameha ending that long run for Punahou last year, defeating the Buff and Blue 6-1 in last year's state championship match.
Yeah, and that was the only real lopsided game of the season was that matchup. I checked myself here. It's 12 times that they have met in this final since 2004.
As Punahou got it inside to Sonova Robinson, their outstanding underclassman. Just a 10th grader, second-year starter here for Coach Ken Smith. Tried to go lob, put it a little wide, so it remains a 1-goal advantage here for Kamehameha. Looking into set that time as Ava Gurney, their senior center, trying to fight for position, pass a little errant, and Kimmy able to pounce on it, and now Punahou looking to counter. It's about 3 minutes gone here in our opening period. Again, 4 7-minute quarters at the high school level.
So we have an ejection right away here.
This one's going to be an exclusion on Ava Carlson for Kamehameha. So 6-on-5 opportunity for Punahou. First one we've seen either way here tonight.
One of the 3 Avas in the pool right now. Yeah, Ava Carlson will sit out. She has a 20-second ejection. She'll be out for 20 seconds, and then she gets to come back in. Here she comes.
Back to full strength. Punahou still scrambling. 4 to shoot here. And a block there by Fake. First real shot on goal for Punahou.
Yeah,
And they come up empty on the 6-on-5.
Yep, Fake gets 2 hands on that. She was ready.
Just past the midway point, we're going to look at that. They covering that near post well. The ordinary foul on this end. So in water polo, you hear a lot of whistles, right, Sherry?
Yeah.
You get the ordinary fouls where basically you get a free throw, everybody remains even strength, and then we've seen already a penalty called and as well as an exclusion. There's a shot from Gurney out of set, and that one off the post.
Just barely off the post.
Yeah, excuse me, that was actually Taya Brandon there. Brandon's been critical for Kamehameha this in her senior season. Has scored some really critical goals in the matchups against Punahou.
Ball comes in to center. Oh, and we've got an offensive foul and a turnover.
Yeah, looking for Robinson there.
So Fake's looking for her outlet pass. Punahou able to slow down the counterattack on that one.
And as you pointed out, Sherry, that's going to be key, right, in talking to Coach Smith before the match. The general for Punahou, now coaching water polo for over 50 years.
Yeah.
soon to be inducted into the USA Water Polo Hall of Fame next month.
Yes.
But he said, hey, we got to make sure we match up, got to make sure we take care of those counters, and some good defense there for the Buff and Blue.
There is Coach Ken right there. I believe it's 53 years coaching high school water polo.
You can forgive Coach Smith if he's lost count at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and then a little confusion with the pandemic. Another turnover, somewhat in transition, with 1:52 to go in this first.
And on the other side, you see Coach Anthony Cabrera, who's done an outstanding job with this Varsity 1 program at Kamehameha. And we get a whistle off the ball. This will be an offensive foul, so Punahou coming the other way.
Yeah, 2 offensive fouls in a row.
Noah Kerber going to look down the 5 for Robinson. Draws an ordinary. And another whistle comes
ordinary.
in. Shot clock half gone. As Buffalo Blue. Stewart looking for the shot. Thought maybe a tip from McConnell fake, which would have given them a 2-meter corner throw, but they sailed over, and it'll be Kamehameha possession here.
There's a good look at Kaylani Stewart there. She's a basketball standout as well, and she's heading to West Point next year.
That's be another contra foul here. Offensive foul whistled against Kamehameha.
This is where the conditioning comes in. That's back and forth early in the game. Both of these teams can handle it. But it does take a toll at some point.
Robinson trying to direct some traffic. And another whistle off the ball. As we expect, it'll be quite physical. Both of these teams so skilled.
That was a grab at center, and the defender was trying to show the grab by egg beatering up and kind of showing that they're being held. And referee Michelle Wong caught that.
Yeah, Michelle Wong, Ian Kusao are 2 officials, 2 of the best in the biz here in the 808s, and an exclusion drawn. This is going to be whistled against Robinson, so 6-on-5 advantage. A player up for Kamehameha. Talking to Coach Cabrera before the match, he knew how important these were. Beautiful entry
nice.
down into Gurney.
That's nice. Ava Gurney on the 2-post, on the post. The referee's pulling the ball out. We're looking for a cap. That's what's happening here. So, wardrobe malfunction. Ava Aguilera's going to go look for her cap at the bottom of the pool. We have a 2-point advantage here, 2-0, with 26 seconds to go. That was a nice execution, being able to pass that ball around the perimeter and then find that player open on the post. That's advanced. That's not easy to do.
These matchups that we've seen all season long, right? We talked about 3 of the 5 regular season matchups going to overtime. And in the 2 that didn't go to overtime, it was 8-6 to Punahou and 10-7 to Punahou. It's not like they were blowouts or anything like that. I mean, 3 was the biggest differential between these 2.
And in fact, I believe that both the 8-6 and the 10-7 game, I know for sure the 10-7 game was tied at 7 in the 4th quarter. So they were not, there's been no blowouts. All the matchups have been extremely, like you said, razor thin.
A little Kerber looking weak side. And the Warrior defense converging there. Ava Carlson slamming the door shut.
Yeah, they're not going to let Sonova get much. She drove hard on the opposite side of the ball, and they know that means she's looking to get a cross pass. And they converged right on her, stopped that drive, and stopped that easy, I wouldn't call it an easy, but that pass, cross pass, that she's been successful in the past.
So 7 minutes in the books here, 1 period down, and Kamehameha leading it 2-0 over Punahou after 1 quarter play. A good look at the crowd as expected. Full house here at Kalani'o Pu'upu'u, as we've seen throughout the regular season matchups, if you will. It was Punahou who won the ILH regular season, and then Kamehameha in overtime, winning the ILH tournament, necessitated a playoff in which Punahou won that one 9-7 in overtime. It is a familiar refrain, but Sherry, is we kind of take an assessment here a quarter of a way through this championship matchup, playing out kind of as you expected?
Yeah, I think this is not an unusual start to this game. Here comes the first goal right here. Nice, again, the counterattack goal. We talked about that being a really key point for Kamehameha in particular, and they jumped on the offensive turnover and were able to get that nice long pass and that counterattack goal. Here's the second one right on the 6-on-5. Very sweet touch on that by Ava Gurney. That's that. Notice how she does not go strong side. Instead, she goes cross cage with a nice little lobby touch. There, that's good water polo.
Yeah, Gurney's been kind of one of the leaders of this group, right, on her way to Pitzer College in Southern California. Of course, Pomona Pitzer, their athletic program, winning their third consecutive Division III national championship last weekend.
Yeah.
And like the Division III power down there in the SCIAC.
Yeah, and there's been players from both these teams that have played in the SCIAC. It's a good league for players to come out of Hawaii to go straight there into the SCIAC.
So teams will stay on each end of the pool. Water polo switch at quarters or halves. Our championship matchup here, they'll switch at halves. So Punahou looking to get a little offensive rhythm going.
Yeah, I think that there's, all right, I don't know what's happening. The little chat with the officials here, but I think there's just the first quarter jitters getting underway. They'll adjust. It's been nice weather here that's favorable. The last time they matched up here at Kamehameha in the regular season, it was pouring rain. And a little bit soggy. For the players, it doesn't matter much, but for everybody else, it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it turned out to be a beautiful night up here in Kapalama. You know, there's some threatening weather and some heavy rain at different parts of the state, including different parts of the island. Kind of wreaking havoc over at State Track in Mililani, but it's held out quite nicely here.
Yes.
As Punahou winning the sprints.
All right, so they've each taken the sprint.
So sweep the buff and blue on the opening possession here in the second quarter, and they will have a 6-on-5 advantage as La'i Wong whistled.
La'i will sit out for 20 seconds. Punahou's in there 6-on-5. They'll pass that ball around the perimeter, see if they can open up somebody on the inside, or go for an outside shot.
Zeba Aguilera with it for Punahou. Also just a sophomore. As Carlson will re-enter here back to full strength. Errant pass, and Kamehameha defensively has stood tall on the 6-on-5.
And once again, jumping on that turnover, Kylie Harvey.
Harvey, the freshman, the ball in hand, pressure coming from behind, and she'll draw another 5-meter. And this one will be whistled against Stallsmith. Reese Stallsmith doing everything she could to try and recover on the counter. And Sherry, you pointed that out early on. This is going to be a big factor in tonight's match. Kamehameha's ability to transition and put Punahou under pressure.
Yeah, that jump on that bad pass was, she doesn't need much of a lead. She's quick, but a couple strokes lead and turns right into this type of a situation.
Gurney took a little something off of that one.
Yep.
And is able to net her second goal of the match to put Kamehameha up 3-0 here.
Yep, she opted for accuracy over power or speed, and it worked.
Good look at it from our end zone camera.
Yep, a little off speed there.
You mentioned a little placement over power after failing to convert on a 5-meter penalty earlier in the match. And so Punahou now 3-goal deficit. Buff and Blue go inside to Aguilera.
She dishes that right back out. We're less than 10 here, and there's Robinson with the cross cage from the outside.
Zenova Robinson had 7 goals yesterday in the semifinal victory over Kaiser. Gets Punahou on the board here. It's about 70 seconds into our second quarter. There haven't been a whole lot of 3-goal leads.
No, I was going to say.
Over the 5 previous matches between these two. And as you'd expect, that didn't last very long.
Yeah, and I think that because it's an unusual circumstance to have a team go up even by 3, getting that for Punahou, getting that goal right there helps settle them. And again, same thing. There's a transition kick out there because of a counterattack. Coach Ken's calling a timeout. Punahou will set up their power play. So that was an exact opposite, well, it's the exact same play, but Punahou doing the same thing. With the counterattack, getting out an early quick jump, nice long pass, that was very accurate. Player got fouled from behind, transition kick out.
So after Buff and Blue go down 3, able to respond immediately. Excellent job by Aguilera getting that back out, and then Robinson, Sherry, getting on the board.
There she goes with the low skip cross cage. And credit Aguilera there for dishing that ball out with 3 players converging on her. She just tossed it out with a forearm pass. That's a nice little skip there.
Yeah, great look at that from poolside. And so now timeout called by Punahou.
Yeah, they'll get 2 minutes to chat, figure out how they're going to set up their play. The previous one is the one where they had the overpass that led to a counterattack. So they'll talk about it. They'll probably set up something very specific. Maybe start in what we call 3-3 and move into a 4-2. We'll see, but they do have a player advantage for 20 seconds.
Each team with 4 timeouts allotted in regulation. Because one of those has to be a
substitution timeout or a 20-second. We call them a 20-second timeout. They don't really time it, but it's less than a. It's less than a regular
shorter
one.
timeout. Yeah, kind of like basketball, right? You got your 30s and your fulls.
Exactly.
For the most part, and so Punahou up 6-on-5 here. The exclusion that last time on Kavena Newman for Kamehameha, so they'll have the advantage. The timeout allows them to set up.
And there's a little different look here. They've got Zenova Robinson at the post. That is not her normal spot.
Buff and Blue work a little action there to free up Robinson. Got a shot, but getting a hand on, maybe a little field block there.
Yeah, so you notice they swapped her out from the post to the one, what we call the 1 spot. That is where she has been the most deadly in all of the matchups, previous matchups between these 2 teams. And she got a shot off, didn't quite go.
So again, Punahou so far empty on their 6-on-5 opportunities. Excellent defense. They're pressing the lane by Aguilera. And now we're going to have an exclusion after the ordinary foul. Wong did not allow Aguilera to take that free throw and put the ball back in play, and so she'll be excluded. Another 6-on-5 here for Punahou.
Yeah, look to them to do something similar. And that's a 5-meter call. So in the process of shooting, that's McCarran was fouled at the 3 post. Punahou will have their first attempt at a 5-meter.
That penalty foul whistled against Carlson, I believe. We'll try to get confirmation.
Carlson, yeah.
I believe that's her second. Of course, in water polo, on your 3rd either exclusion foul or penalty, you are done for the game. Kind of like fouling out in basketball, right?
That's right.
3 in water polo.
And I believe that is her second, so she'll have one more.
And there's Aguilera, who converts calmly on the 5-meter penalty. And her first goal of the match, all of a sudden, Punahou is right back on the heels. They've pulled within one.
Yep, with 4.5 to go in the second. A little bit of substitution here. Senior for senior. Kaylee Psyche's coming on out. Kaylani Stewart will come in for Punahou.
Yeah, seniors for Punahou play an important role for such a young team for Coach Smith. Starts 3 sophomores, 3 juniors.
Yeah, there's only 2 seniors that start. One that plays regularly, the others that trade off frequently. But the leadership from the seniors is what's valuable. They are a very young team.
Stahlsmith with some great defense there. Down at the 2-meter. Come up with the stop for Punahou as the Buff and Blue now with it possession and a chance to maybe tie this thing up after falling behind 3-0. Robinson being pressured out as they go down to 2-meter for Stewart.
Stahlsmith with the skip shot, goes wide right. Timeout, Kamehameha. 3:48 to go in the second period, and we've got a timeout. Looking to make adjustments there. Coach Anthony Cabrera's going to talk to his team. Not exactly sure if they just wanted to slow things down and have a chat, or if he sees something that he wants to make adjustments.
Yeah, so that'll be their first timeout here of the match.
We're going to switch things up a little bit. Okay.
Punahou bench wanted a touch there on the shot that went wide. Uncalled, so they had possession. That's the timeout called here by Coach Cabrera. We talked about how he's really taken this program and obviously
developed a culture.
Really established things. Look at a beautiful look down the hill. Here again, fairly calm night. Winds picked up a little bit. Nothing too stiff, but it has been.
The flag's flying, but it's not whipping around like often is.
And so a beautiful night for water polo. Elements not necessarily factoring in, at least not just yet.
Well, it's pretty nice. It's really nice. Anybody watching outside of the state, probably jealous.
Oh yeah, as they should be. As they should be. As if you look at the Punahou bench, we were talking about Coach Cabrera for Kamehameha, now in his 6th year as the head coach of the Varsity 1 program. 12th year total with this Kamehameha water polo program. Was previously the Varsity 2 coach. 2023 ILH Coach of the Year, helping lead Kamehameha to the ILH Championship and of course their 2nd ever HHSAA State Championship to go along with their 2006 title. Danielle Mulford leading the Warriors to that first state championship.
Danielle Mulford was one of my players at UH. Just graduated and come up here to give back to the sport.
So many.
That referee right there, Michelle Wong, also one of my former players, played with Danielle. And Kylie Harvey, number 2 for Kamehameha, their mom was also on that squad. Her mom.
So many deep connections, right, within the water polo community. Of course, UH, their magnificent season coming to an end earlier this afternoon up in Berkeley, losing to Cal 9-6.
And they're just an amazing season for UH this year. And it was a tough loss, and Cal just had a fantastic game. We got to give it to them.
Shot from Tia Brandon following the timeout went wide.
Well, there goes a nice turn move inside.
Whistle comes, and that'll be an exclusion.
On Gurney, I believe. Nice shot there.
And Punahou able to tie it up, taking advantage here on the 6-on-5.
Kyloa Kerber taking it early, not giving Kamehameha a chance to set up any defense, just going hard right off the bat. Credit Ava Aguilera there for drawing that ejection. She made a very strong turn move.
And so Sherry, kind of talk us through that a little bit, because we've seen, right, 6-on-5, we've seen Punahou call a timeout, opt to set up, we've seen the teams sort of methodically get into position, and and try and take advantage that way. That time Punahou opting to go quick. Kind of talk us through the thought process of going quick or maybe trying to set things up.
Well, let's look here first at this one. Let's see what they do. Okay, we've got a setup here. So the idea of going quick is exactly for what we were talking about. Does not give the defense an opportunity to set up at all.
This will be another exclusion.
Double, yeah.
This will be 6-on-4 for Kamehameha. Stallsmith the first one, McCarron the second. This off the bar. Rebound comes out and Punahou's going to escape this.
Ricocheting all over the place. It was pinballing all over the place.
Another look at it here on the replay.
Here comes, boom, knocks that down, then gets attacked, but that grab, that's where that foul comes from. And both the ejected players get to come in at that point as Punahou retains possession.
10 seconds on the shot clock here for Punahou.
And another contra foul, turnover, okay, yeah, dunking, holding excessively, as we might say.
You see
That's
the
an
change
ordinary,
change in possession there, and then down at the other end, the ordinary foul, as you pointed out, Sherry. Still 6-on-6, but now another exclusion.
Straight into Gurney. That's the smart move. And somehow that ball hits the bar. Player still needs to go to the penalty box before she's allowed to come back in. That's Psyche with her second, I believe. And prior to that, I believe the other senior, Reese Stallsmith, might be in trouble too with 2.
Yeah, we'll try and double check some of those numbers for you at halftime.
There's been quite a few.
There have been quite a few, and that was
it's hard to keep up.
One of the keys for Coach Cabrera coming in. He said, hey, we got to try and stay out of foul trouble for his Warriors. Both teams kind of have their core, right?
Yeah, yes, they do. There's been, again, when I said these teams, they played 27 quarters before this. Now we're at 29 here. And most of the people you see in the pool right now are the ones that did most of the work in those 29 quarters of water polo.
Yeah, they go down to Lutyu Wong and mustered a tough shot in the direction of goal. Warriors.
So we were talking a little bit about the exclusions, the ejections, and both teams, both coaches would be concerned about anybody getting into foul trouble. But there have been an extraordinary number in this first half. Sometimes games just go that way. It's not necessarily that this is like extra aggressive or that the referees are clamping down. It's just sometimes that's the nature of the flow.
Well, Punahou shot over the bar on one end, and Harvey trying to counter all the way down. Looking for her on a drive in front of goal with the pass, a little errant, and Punahou able to come up with the stop defensively. 31 seconds here to play. 12 on the shot clock. There's Aguilera driving in, and ordinary called.
She needs to take that ball outside of the 2-meter area before she's allowed to have her free pass, and not allowed to shoot inside.
4 seconds to shoot here, and she'll just opt to dump it into the corner. So as Fake will go get it, the Warriors will have 17 seconds on the restart.
You're going to notice that Fake's going to come all the way up and play what we call a 7-man. She will cross half and enter the offense. She was able to score on that during regulation to send, here she goes with the lob at the buzzer. So that's also a relatively new rule where the goalkeeper can cross half. Here we go, 3-3 at halftime.
As advertised, right?
Yep.
Punahou and Kamehameha even here after 2 quarters of play. And yeah, kind of just going back to that last sequence, as you pointed out, Sherry, right? The goalkeepers, the advantage of being able to use 2 hands, but once they get outside of 6 meters, right, they become a field player like everybody else. You can just use 1 hand at a time. But she can cross half. She can go ahead and score, and she scored 3 times, including once in the semifinal, 3
That's
times this season, I should say, including once in the semifinal yesterday against Iolani.
Yes, and the time that she scored against Punahou earlier in the regular season, it was a game winner. So she's single-handedly won that game for them, bringing that ball up past half and playing 7-man.
So back with you here, poolside at Kalanio Pu'upu. Jordan Helly, Sherry Smart with you. Keely Leong is well patrolling the sidelines for us here on Championship Saturday at the Girls State Water Polo HHSAA Championships. And these teams meeting for the 6th time this season. Punahou winning 3 of the first 2, 3 of the first 5 going to overtime, as we mentioned, including 3 of the last 4, basically. And so, you know, it was a little bit of an interesting start, Sherry, because Kamehameha gets out to that 2-0 lead after a quarter. They go up 3-0, and you're like, okay, well, this is a little different than what we've seen so far this season, but kind of the deviating back to the mean, if you will.
I would say, yeah.
Punahou able to kind of steady the ship as we see some of the early action.
Yes, here's that that's that 5-meter. And then, yeah, nice little corner on that one. Ava Gurney. And then here comes, I think this is that first goal by Sonova, getting Punahou on the board. Cross cage, low. Ball goes into the center, and that earned a penalty. And Aguilera scores that, bottom left. Here they are setting up. And a quick, not providing an opportunity for Kamehameha to really kind of get their defense ready. Instead of making the passes, which they had, so Punahou had slowed down and tried to pass the ball earlier and had overpassed and gotten the ball stolen away from them. So I think that was a good choice by Kailua Kerber to take the quick on that 6-on-5.
Yeah, things have settled in quite a bit here, 3 apiece at halftime. Let's send it back over to Keely.
Mahalo, Jordan. During our halftime report, Coach Anthony shared that his team did really good on their counterattack during the first half, and they want to work on stopping the ejections in the second half. For our home team, Punahou, Coach Ken shared that while the first quarter wasn't off to a great start, they really came through in the second quarter and are hoping to keep the momentum up through the second half of the game. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks a lot, Keely. As we get a look at the bird's eye view at Kalanio Pu'upu. Packed house, as we expected. A little bit of I think everybody kind of sitting on their hands a little bit, kind of feeling this one out, much like the 2 teams. And as this one goes along, I expect the crowd to get even more lively. Of course, this is a pretty big night for both of these 2 schools, right? A little down the road over at the Blaisdell, Kamehameha and Punahou meeting in the Division I Boys Volleyball State Championship match as well. It must be a big game because we got the coach in the house, Norm Chow.
There he is.
University of Hawaii football coach. There's Norm. Nobody's told him he's on camera yet. That's good. The kids know. The kids know when they're on camera. They know when the red light's on. That's their time to shine.
Good for them. Showing their school spirit here on a Saturday. I wonder how many of them are going to jump in the car and get down to the Blaisdell.
And imagine quite a bit as winding down halftime. Halftime 5 minutes in water polo. I think as more and more folks get familiar with the sport. I think with the season that the Rainbow Wahine had as well, more people getting interested, bringing along some of the casual fans. And I think more and more people that get exposed to it, it's a great spectator sport, with the action and the pace of play, how quick it is.
Yeah, for people who are new to the sport, I think they'll find, just like you said, it's a exciting game. Tends to be higher scoring than, let's say, soccer, so people enjoy that. The idea of having being able to play 6-on-5, getting people kicked out, people enjoy stuff like that. That's fun. That's fun. And the Rainbow Wahine had a great season this year, and they brought new people to the stadium, to the Duke Kahanamoku complex.
Yeah, the crowds there were
Crowds
outstanding.
are crazy. The game against USC was unbelievable. Never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, of course, you got the Summer Olympics coming up in Paris.
That's right.
The women's national team amongst the favorites again.
That's it. They are the reigning gold medalists.
And I think for a lot of folks, it was quite interesting as well. One of the more exciting high school seasons, from the prep standpoint locally. When you look at all of the different leagues, I found it quite interesting and really quite cool. Yet we talked about these two teams going to overtime in the ILH playoff. In the OIA championship game, Kahuku beating Kaiser 11-10 in overtime. Over on Maui, Baldwin and Kamehameha Maui had to go 4 overtimes to decide their MIL playoff victory.
That was a lot of parity in the leagues.
Yeah, and even on the Big Island, that was the least traumatic, if you will, and that was a 7-5 victory for Kamehameha Hawaii over Hawaii Prep. Those two, of course, long been the powers over there on the Big Island. And so really of the 4 leagues that sponsor water polo, the KIF does not. I mean, drama all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, it's just excitement and the competitiveness. And really, really fun to see, and hopefully, you know, kind of a catalyst to help grow the sport.
I think that's great. And it has been, you know, it's been about 20 years of girls high school water polo, and you know, Title IX's been around for 50 years. So it's about time.
Yeah, I totally agree. Of course, the first HHSAA sponsored state tournament was back in 2004. It was an 8-team tournament, 2008, and the tournament expanded to 12 teams as it has been since.
Yeah, and you know, they were waiting for mostly the public schools, the OIA schools, to add girls water polo back in the late 90s or the early aughts, as they say. Prior to that, there was the OIA had a co-ed club league starting in the mid-90s. And that led to, and the ILH had some girls playing on the guys' teams, but not very many of them. They didn't have very many opportunities. So right around the same time that the colleges were expanding and adding women's water polo is when girls water polo got their start here in the state. Big Island actually had a league prior to the OIA getting their league. But this is all in the very early 2000s. And here we are 24 years later. And we've got this great rivalry, great matchup right here. And as you said, other rivalries in other leagues.
Yeah, the sport continues to grow. And you see more and more participation. As you mentioned, right, I believe 1997, the first year the ILH sponsored girls water polo. And then about 7 years later, we mentioned the HHSAA, able to sponsor it with a few other leagues, introducing the sport, and Wong winning the sprint for Kamehameha, much like they did to start the ball game. Punahou winning the sprint in the second quarter. So even those kind of neck and neck.
Yeah, exactly. One more time with the turnover here.
Yeah, they called Gurney kind of swimming under, ducking under to try and gain some position. Down at 2 meters. And so Punahou's first possession here in the third quarter. 3 apiece.
Ball goes in the center there. Oh, yeah, she's going to pull that ball out and have a little discussion on which way she wants that to go. It's a ball under, but it's ball under on white. So blue's going to get the ball, but there will be a new shot clock, new 30 seconds.
And so Newman actually came up with the steal there for Kamehameha defensively, but in the process, once you gain possession, you cannot take the ball under the surface of the water to gain an advantage. And thus it goes back to Punahou and a fresh shot clock as well.
That's right. So McCarran, she's taking a look. There's a lot of driving going on. Punahou's trying to establish a center.
Aguilera forced back outside of 6 meters by Harvey there. Robinson trying to post up.
Oh, she made the turn move, but swarmed by Whitecaps.
Warrior defense.
Yeah, they came all.
Converging there.
Yeah, they converged.
And
One more.
Another offensive foul again, I believe.
That was a kickoff, according to the indication by the official over here. She demonstrated a kicking motion.
Yeah, that was Harvey trying to beat everybody down the pool. The amount of distance that she covers is just remarkable.
Yeah, she's fast.
Almost going from 2 meter to 2 meter. And this will be an exclusion. And it will be Harvey whistled there. And so another 6-on-5 opportunity, first of the second half for Punahou.
Yeah, and the indication on that was the grabbing of the suit up high in the neck area, chest area.
Robinson with it. Now,
Ball's getting passed around the perimeter.
go around the horn to Aguilera. And 9 on the shot clock. Harvey can re-enter here.
Overpass is going to be a problem there.
Stewart.
Yeah, a little low in the water for Keilani Stewart. And here's the counterattack.
Yeah, Wong that time at the field block. Ala Wong and Harvey going from one end to the other is going to earn an exclusion. And this will go
Kerber.
against Kerber. And 6-on-5 for Kamehameha.
So Harvey was in the penalty box, enters the game and gets a 5-stroke lead. Don't ask me how, but she's fast.
And this is going to be a whistle against Kamehameha. So Punahou back to 6-on-6, and their opportunity to counter here. Warriors come up empty on that 6-on-5 advantage.
Yep, again, the conditioning comes into play when there's turnover like this, back and forth turnovers. With only 6 seconds to go here on the shot clock, beautiful shot there. Is that McCarron? Hope McCarron, sophomore.
And after a 3-goal deficit, Punahou has tallied off 4 straight to take their first lead of this championship match. And as you pointed out, it is Hope McCarron, the sophomore.
That's a nice shot. Opposite corner, up high. She's pretty tall. She had some good legs there. Elevated and put it in the corner.
They had 5'10", right? The primary defender. But she can really provide a bit of a boost offensively and does there. 3 minutes gone here in the third quarter and Punahou back ahead.
There we go with Harvey driving in nicely, trying to get set.
And Harvey able to win the loose ball.
Yeah, still recovers.
What a spin to get free, and she will
She earns another exclusion.
draw an ordinary.
I thought it was a kick out.
And actually the whistle came prior to the shot there. The shot clock had expired. And again, on an ordinary foul, the shot clock does not reset.
That's correct.
Only on kickouts.
Or shots, yeah.
On shots. So an empty possession there for Kamehameha.
And that's Harvey on the.
Foxford
gets that back.
ball side position there, going up against Robinson. 2 underclassmen there. Just tirelessly working. Here's Wong, Lutty Wong.
Lutty looking into the driver right here. Taya Brandon on one side. She opts to go up to the top.
And finds its way back to Wong. 4 to shoot here. Wong looking to lob it, and that just over the bar.
From our angle, that was looking like it was going. That looked real good. Must have just missed high. Here it comes. Yeah, that's not a bad shot selection. Just barely off.
You see the ability of these goalies as well, right? Ray Akimi so high up out of the water, had that pretty well covered. Buff and Blue with it. Down at the 5 here. 6 seconds to shoot. Ordinary foul, and this is outside of 6 meters.
Stewart's open here. Goes for the opposite corner and might get. Blue recovers that. That looked like that was. That ball went off the bar, and McCarron attacked the rebound and came up with it.
Yeah, earned the whistle, ordinary foul. It'll be Punahou possession after the Stewart shot off the bar. Shot clock had reset as well.
Ball goes into center and dishes that out. Kaylee Psyche with the attack.
And she goes off the bar.
Punahou recovers.
Another long rebound, third crack at things on this trip down the pool. And
Right.
Aguilera's shot is saved and a timeout called by Coach Cabrera and Kamehameha. The Warriors looking to kind of catch their breath a little bit here.
I think Coach Anthony Cabrera is real happy when McConaughey gets that ball right in the belly button. He immediately calls a timeout, settle that team back down.
So we gotta go force center. Auto.
Yeah, nice block there by Fake. She's planning on playing at UC San Diego next year.
Yeah, we'll see her in the Big West.
Yeah, wish her well. There's been a Punahou goalie. Courtney Miller played at UC San Diego. Had a great career there.
It doesn't matter if you score it or
And I
not.
know
It doesn't matter.
that McConaughey's going to help that team.
Yeah, of course, she takes over in goal this year for Kahala Newman, who was the most outstanding player in last year's state tournament. Of course, Kamehameha losing a couple other key seniors. ILH Player of the Year Kohio Rego is over at Cal State East Bay now.
Yeah,
ILH first teamer Jordan Nishimura just recently won the club national championship playing for UCLA's club team.
that's right. I'm a big fan of club. Actually, even though I'm a former Division I coach, I'm a big fan of Division III water polo. I'm a big fan of club water polo. It gives players opportunities to play at any level and at any commitment level. I think that's it's really fun. It's a really great way to be a part, have a built-in peer group, be part of your school community, and not necessarily have to have water polo be your primary and your only job.
Yeah, there are definitely different avenues to keep playing the sport, right? And keep staying involved. I know you're still at it, right?
I still play, yes I do. I'm about to go play in a Masters National Championship in early June, and it's a blast. I still enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
And when you play in an old division, in a division with other old players, you kind of know most of the people that you're playing against, because if they're playing at this age, they might, they were people I played with or against in college or on the national team, and so, it's kind of like reunion weekend.
A lot of familiar faces. Kamehameha. They're going to run some action after the timeout. Little errant pass. And they muster a shot as Salawong. And that shot tipped on the way toward goal. And Punahou stands strong defensively as they've held Kamehameha scoreless so far here in the third quarter. Another look at it there and give me a good save.
Another contra foul. Gravity suit. The officials are being pretty consistent on that. The same call both ways.
Kamehameha a chance to counter here.
Yeah.
And they will score it to tie it up. This is going to be Lutyi Wong again, her second goal of the match.
Yeah, she's a speedy. That again was a counterattack goal. You got to give that to the counterattack. Strong move there.
Able to hold off Kerber and then finish it.
Well, and hold on to the ball. She wanted to shoot, so she held on to it. If you release it, then looking for a foul, then you're going to have to, maybe you earn an ejection. But in this case, she just wanted it.
And of course, the important caveat there, right? If you earn the ordinary foul, you get the free throw, but you cannot shoot directly, right? It becomes an indirect restart basically inside of 6 meters, and so not necessarily advantageous to try and draw the foul there, but instead stay strong with it and fire a shot on goal. So we're tied at 4 here. A little over a minute left in the third quarter, and another offensive foul. This will go the way of Kamehameha.
Mm-hmm. And there is a counterattack up right.
And the Warriors do look that way. Harvey kind of spins out of it as Newman will collect, and Punahou Able to get set defensively. Under a minute to go here in the third. Tied at 4.
They
And
swarmed. That ball goes into center, and the defense was all over it.
about a 20-second differential game in shot clock here. As the outlet will come to Robinson. It's 3-0 Kamehameha, and then 4 straight for Punahou.
And now knotted at 4 with just a, oh, here we go with another exclusion. One possession here in the third. Punahou's going to call a timeout, set up their 6-on-5, schedule a plan here.
Yeah, that one whistled against Gurney. That'll be her
Gurney.
second.
Oh, that is only her second, okay. I meant to ask, we forgot to ask.
Well,
You've been keeping track.
there was also quite the meeting at the scores book at halftime with both benches trying to make sure that everybody had their books right and totally understandable. And so we,
Well, and it happens.
that takes precedent for us.
Yeah, well, and it happens quickly, so sometimes even if you, even if you were recording things, you might have missed one. But once again, knotted at 4, knotted at any time at the end. Here, we're about to finish this third quarter. This will be another tie. And these teams have been tied basically since 2022. Most of last year and most of this year.
Yeah, Polo had been on that incredible run, right? Basically had not lost for a number of years up until the beginning of the 2023 season when Kamehameha knocked them off and kind of sent some warning shots, if you will, throughout the ILH in the state. Like, hey, we may have quite the race on here. And then, of course, those two teams ended up meeting in the state championship match where Kamehameha prevailed. And it was kind of interesting as Punahou will have the 6-on-5 advantage here coming out of the timeout. But in talking to Coach Smith, right, who's seen just so much water polo over the years. And one thing he pointed out, and there's so much respect for Coach Anthony Cabrera and what he's done with this Kamehameha program and his players, and just all of the familiarity. But he said, hey, his group, they know what it's like to win. They experienced that last year, right? And I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Sure.
In learning to get over the hump and having been there and been through these battles, knowing that, hey, you've done it before.
That's right.
And so for Punahou, winning the ILH this year, I think a big step forward for his young group as well, right? That young group of sophomores now that ultimately fell short in the state championship match a year ago.
Yeah, Punahou felt like they were underdogs this whole season, even though, like we just mentioned, they were, it was dead even. But because of the loss at last year's state championship, they felt like they were underdogs and that they had a lot to prove. This group had a lot to prove.
Shot and game clock basically identical after the exclusion reset the must-shoot timer. 15 seconds remaining here in the third period. Ordinary whistle. Here's Kerber going to look back for Aguilera. Gurney can re-enter here with 10 seconds to go. Kerber had that one defended quite well by Kapali, but then able to recollect and kind of caught everybody coming back down. Just a lob into the corner, and it's the Buff and Blue who
That
takes
was a
the
trick.
lead with 3 seconds to go here in the third.
Yeah, a little trick shot if you ask me. I think she really wanted to take a hard shot, but just kind of gecko gripped the ball, even though, oh, here she goes. That's fake with the ball shot. They give it up to her. So here's Kerber again. Takes the hard fake, but holds on with the gecko on with fingers like grips. And then just forearm wrist shot. Just a wrist shot. Lob. Here it comes. Ooh, never mind, I'm going here.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? So it's just some of these plays that go one way or another as Kapali defending there. And maybe a good opportunity as both Sherry kind of talk about, what kind of contact is allowed on those shots as well.
Right, so she was being pressed, but she has the ball. She has the ball in her hand, so she's allowed to have hands on her. They can put hands on her. I just thought she was so out of position and underwater, like it's really hard to see how she was able to get that off. But Kailoa has taken lobs before, right here in this pool, right here on that side of the pool. Maybe she was just pulling something out of her own bag of tricks. But here we are, 5-4, going into the fourth.
And much like we expected, not a lot of separation between these two, and it could come down to one play here, one play there, and maybe, I don't want to call it a fluky play or anything like that, but a bit of an unusual finish, and sometimes those can be the difference in championship matches as tightly contested as this, as we get to see some of the action from that third quarter.
Yeah, the highlights. Here's McCarron. She's going to get up big here, opposite corner. Fired away. Second look on that. Yeah, that's hard to defend. Nice little celebration smile there. Here's the counterattack. That's a full court pass here. Instead of drawing the exclusion, she holds onto the ball. Nice shot there. Here we go with the
Had a look on, I think, everybody's faces
Yeah.
there. Just
I think
the surprised excitement for Punahou and kind of the disbelief for the Kamehameha players in the pool on that one.
well, again, we've got a match.
So 7 minutes to go here. A quarter remaining, maybe even more, if we end up even.
If the season's precedence is set, we could be going into overtime.
Yeah, each of the last two ended up that way. Not only did those matches come down to overtime, but we saw some really dramatic goals as well. Goals in the last 30 seconds, goals literally at the death in a number of those matches. Kind of remarkable and hard to believe. And, well, it's setting up to maybe be another classic coming down to the wire here. It's going to be Wong and Stallsmith again sprinting. And Kamehameha going left to right as you look at things. And the white caps, Punahou and the blue caps. And the sprint going to be
Jump ball.
fitting. Not won by either team. So I have to jump
They
it up.
tied. Are you surprised?
Big smiles from both Wong and Stallsmith there. And the jump ball is going to be won by Stallsmith. It'll be Punahou possession to get things going here in the fourth. Anything particularly you've got your eye on here, Sherry, that could maybe prove to be the difference over these last 6:45?
Well, I am actually curious how many players are in foul trouble. I'm also curious to see if any team, if you noticed, Punahou right now is not Ava Aguilera, who normally sets at center, is pulled out to the outside. And they've got Sinova and McCarron. Double post, setting up a double post. I think trying to establish center is a good idea. And it looks like Punahou's trying to pull somebody else out. Harvey's back in there for Kamehameha.
Shot by Kerber, saved on the other end by Fake. So Kamehameha with their first opportunity of the quarter, down one. 5 seconds to shoot here. And a lob towards goal, and that will sail comfortably over. The Buff and Blue come up with a stop. 6 minutes to go here in the state final. Buff and Blue with that 1-goal lead. Kailoa Kerber, her tally the difference so far. And with 3 seconds to go
So
in the
Punahou
third
going
quarter.
with this double post here.
Shot clock winding down again. It's a shot from distance and another save from Kamehameha.
Yeah, McConaughey had everything on that. Okay, we have a transition exclusion.
And this is going to be Stallsmith excluded. And Kamehameha now up 6 on 5, a chance to, and that is 3 on Stallsmith. So Stallsmith
will finish on the bench.
She will foul out. It's a big loss for Punahou.
That's a field block there. That ball goes over the cage. Blocked by a field player. And in the sport of water polo, when a player from the field makes a block, the ball goes to that team, as opposed to the, whoever touched it last, doesn't get the ball. In this case, they do. So you're rewarded for blocking, for shot blocking from the field.
Yeah, of course, and then the difference, right, if it's the goalie who tips it out, it would be a 2-meter corner throw for the shooting team, if you will. Kamehameha coming up with the stop defensively. 4:30 to play here. Still a decent amount of time, but as the possessions start dwindling, pressure builds. Kamehameha down 1 here. Long draws the ordinary. Wong and Harvey down on the post for Kamehameha. 5 seconds to shoot here. Wong mishandles.
Yes, she's going to shoot the lob as well.
And Kimmy able to just get her fingertips to it. Tips it off the bar. Moves laterally well there and able to preserve the Punahou lead. Good look at the Kimmy save there. Punahou looking for a little breathing room.
Uh-oh. She didn't know there was somebody coming from behind. We're going to have a...
And the exclusion is going to go against Kamehameha here. This is going to go against Ala Wong, her second. A chance for Punahou to reset things. Halfway through our 4th quarter. Aguilar working with Kerber. Robinson now, pressured.
Yeah, they're not going to let Robinson shoot that.
And Fake able to come up with the save, and just as we were talking about, Sherry, goalie touching that one out over the goal line, and it'll be a 2-meter
corner throw here. So Robinson's going to take that ball right here in the 2, and this new rule is that she can put that ball in play, and then she's technically live.
Contra foul on the drive off the ball. So it'll be Kamehameha possession here.
And with the counterattack, they are fired. They are up.
Harvey with it.
Here comes another exclusion.
This one's going to go against Psyche, and it's her second. And another opportunity here. Oh, excuse me, that's actually her third.
That's what I thought. I was thinking she got one early. And we're tied up. Taya Brandon.
Brandon able to skip that one in. Had 2 goals in their quarterfinal victory against Kamehameha Hawaii, and a huge one to tie things at 5.
That skip shot was from 4 feet away from the goal line. But she was center cage, and she got herself a nice couple of hard fakes, was emboldened, and we're knotted up at 5. 2.5 minutes-ish, 2:40 to go here.
Yeah, and Brandon was the goal scorer in overtime of the ILH tournament final. That decisive goal that forced the playoff a couple of days later, of course, which Punahou ultimately won, but she has scored some big, timely goals. Maybe none bigger than that one right there to tie things at 5. Under 3 to go here.
Yep, and Taya Brandon's decided she's going to come play at UH.
On a pass down into 2 meters, and Robinson with a redirect pass fake. And the Buff and Blue answer immediately.
This is a pass from McCarron that is on the money.
Yeah, it doesn't get much prettier than that. Poetry in motion.
Yeah, essentially that ball going 1 inch in either direction away from that's not a goal. But right on the money.
Now the pressure squarely back on Kamehameha. Trailing by 1. Limited number of possessions left in this one with 2:14 to play. 15 on the shot clock.
And Punahou with 2 players out. And so
excellent defending there. Aguilera scrambling. Zoe Pang out there as well.
that's a little freshman Zoe Pang getting her first minutes in a championship game.
Kamehameha extending that pressure out a little bit more. Chance for Punahou maybe to transition. They'll slow things down here. Stewart. Harvey just everywhere.
Yeah.
Aguilera will draw the ordinary. 12 to shoot here. Down inside, field block.
And then another.
This foul is going to be whistled
Yeah.
against Kamehameha. Punahou a chance to counter. With that ball down in front of the goal.
Sonova back to back. Officials were watching the 2 players that were out here up on the perimeter were kind of going at it in the possession before. There were a lot of handling, a lot of back and forth, and caught that in transition.
Yeah, and even though the foul out near half tank, with the ball basically being in front of the goal with Kamehameha, thinking they were able to restart it following the shot in the field block. All of a sudden you got to let the ball go, right? And Punahou can restart things from right there.
Right, the ball does not have to go to the point of the foul. It goes to the point of where the ball was when the foul occurred. And so they were able to put that ball in play right in front of the cage. And credit Robinson Sonova for having her good heads up play, turned herself around, went towards the goal, and just got that little bit of a lead.
Yeah, Robinson, 5'8" sophomore. Made the all-tournament team last year as a freshman. Was first team in the ILH. Very accomplished swimmer as well.
Yeah, and they doesn't surprise me that it's taken her, this long in the game in order to just get, into a groove. Kamehameha was all over her early on, and she was unable to get much done, and until now.
Yeah, look at both of her tallies here.
That one went up and over. And again, she's normally doesn't play in center. She can post up, but she's normally not in that position. So they've been putting her in there lately in the last, a couple possessions now in a row where she's gone into the center area.
So
just
97 seconds to go
here. We
here.
go.
And Punahou back up by 2. Kamehameha after the timeout.
At some point, I look for the kind of fake to come up and play in the offense.
That's a shot and goal.
Taya
That's
Brandon.
huge. Taya Brandon. We mentioned her propensity for finding
That was clutch.
the net in some pressure-packed situations.
Just look at the touch on that. Caught Rhea Kimmy completely off guard. Did not know that was coming.
So back to a 1-goal separation. 83 seconds to go. Buckle your seatbelts. Everything on the line here. Ordinary call. Another here. 23 seconds on the shot clock for Punahou. McCarron looking inside. Harvey goes way up high.
Yeah, she was trying to go up and over, but nope, can't do that.
And earns the ordinary foul after the steal. Kamehameha down 1. 1 minute to go, and it's going to be an exclusion. McCarron excluded here. 6 on 5 for the Warriors. Harvey with the fake.
Hard fake there.
Over to Wong. 17 to shoot. Harvey again with the fake. Brandon pressure, here's Harvey. Up high, looks down inside at 2 meters and a goal to tie it up. It's Wailele Kapalama.
Kapali with the goal from the post. Non-traditional pass from the top post to the same post. Here comes. Center right there. Her hand was up. She's ready to receive that. Ball goes down low. We are tied at 7.
And a timeout called here by Punahou to try and draw something up. 37 seconds remaining. They get a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Punahou will be allowed to cross half tank and go set up coming out of the timeout. Sherry, every time, right? Kamehameha led this one 3-0. Punahou builds. They respond. They eventually take a 2-goal lead themselves, go up 7-5, and just kind of in the blink, right? Anytime you think somebody's wrestled control of this game, the other just doesn't blink. It comes right back. And, here we are.
Yeah, it's
37 seconds from full time, and it's 7-all.
Really fun. Look at these. Look at this. Everybody's having a great time. Except for probably the coaches. They're probably a little stressed. Maybe the players. No, the players are having a good time too.
This is what you train for, right? Year-round and build throughout the ILH season, throughout the state tournament. Of course, Kamehameha had to go a little bit longer route through the first round on Monday, where they defeated Mililani 14-4, defeated Kamehameha Hawaii in the quarterfinals on Thursday 17-1, and then beating Mililani last night 12-6. Punahou with victories over Roosevelt and Kaiser in the quarters and semis. That has led us here to tonight.
What a battle.
The buff and blue with it.
The ball's going to start at the half.
Maybe Kimmy to put it in play.
Okay, here we go.
Buff and blue will work it around. 4-5 side. 22 seconds to shoot here, under 30 seconds to play. Bang with it, give it up to Kerber. Stewart looking to drive, she'll post up. Here's McCarron, she'll fire right at Fake. 17 seconds.
17 seconds.
Coach Cabrera with the air horn in hand and wanted to see if maybe a counterattack was building, but instead he will call timeout. 13 seconds.
Conserving every second. He did look up to see if anybody was up on the counter. But just a regular timeout, just a 20-second timeout.
20-second timeout.
So Punahou has to respond because Kamehameha is ready to go, and they're the ones that called the timeout. So Kamehameha will have basically the last possession, 13 seconds, in order to.
And again, as you mentioned, Sherry, they've got Makana Fake as well, their goalie, who has been pretty clutch in some of these situations.
This exact situation with about, I think it was 17 seconds on the clock rather than 13, and she scored.
Warriors will put Gurney and Harvey down on the posts. A little confusion as the scoreboard showed that Kamehameha was out of timeouts, but the desk confirming that they indeed did have one.
Okay.
They did not call an extra timeout, if you will.
Right.
And so Fake will put it in. And Gurney and Harvey down on the posts. We got Luttley and Alawong.
Sure, she's coming up.
Yep. Fake's gonna walk this in. 7 seconds to go. So give it up to Wong. Back to Fake. 2 seconds. Fires and saved by Kimmy. Let's go to overtime. 28 minutes, not enough.
Why not?
And to nobody's surprise, 4 quarters insufficient.
to solve this, the problem of who is going to prevail.
Of course, everybody will get to catch their breath and a chance for us to remind everybody at home the overtime format right at the high school level.
Yeah.
We'll play 2 3-minute overtime periods basically, and they'll switch sides after the first 3-minute session, no matter what the score is after the first session.
That's
If
right.
it's still tied after the 6 minutes, the 2 3-minute periods, then we go to sudden death.
Right.
Then we go to golden goal.
Golden goal. And at that point, you play until it's over. Actually, they do cap it at 3 minutes, but you just keep going.
Right. So we would basically, if we go to a third overtime, it'd be 3 minutes. If nobody
Right.
scores, we go to another 3 minutes.
Right.
Nobody scores, and so on and so forth.
Correct.
Kinda
And
get
each
the
coach
idea at
is
home.
allowed one additional timeout at this point. And like you said, doesn't matter what happens at the end of the first 3. It's what happens at the end of both 3s. Both 3-minute. Here they are taking breath.
A chance for everybody to kind of reset, including the 2 of us. And so, Sherry, you know, we saw there kind of early in the fourth quarter a couple of exclusions that led to Reese Stallsmith for Punahou, as well as Kaylee Psyche
Yeah.
fouling out basically and out for the remainder of this game. And so with that in mind, do you favor anybody as we head here to overtime now? In terms of, you know, kind of how this played out. It was Kamehameha who was trailing 7-5. They back-to-back possessions. They scored to tie it up. Does anybody have the advantage right now?
Oh, gosh. You're putting me on the spot. I do think the 2 fouled out players do impact Punahou. I do think there's also, I want to double check, I want to look over here and see if these guys can tell us. I know there are Kamehameha players also in foul trouble, so I would assume that Punahou's going to try to work those individuals to get them fouled out and maybe neutralize it a little bit. But the loss of those 2 seniors for Punahou is a factor.
We'll take a look at some of the highlights from that fourth quarter. At least 6 more minutes to go here in the state championship match. Kamehameha and Punahou. Taya Brandon with some big goals early in the quarter and then late as well, as we see some of that action. 5-minute interval between the end of the fourth quarter and the start of overtime. We're about halfway through that, but Sherry, I mean, just some really clutch shot making both ways in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, just watching these highlights, you realize that Taya Brandon just carried her team just now. Just really impressive. And she's not alone, of course. It takes a team, it takes a village. Everybody worked hard to get to that point, but noticing the seniors stepping up. Again, we talked about Coach Cabrera setting a culture and a vibe that is really, they work for each other. You know, they're really working for each other, and I think that's really, really impressive.
Yeah, I think the resiliency for both of these teams has been quite impressive. Punahou, after falling behind early, just kind of stuck with it coming through, and then, you know, for this Kamehameha team with basically 2 minutes left, having been down 2, and to find a way to tie this matchup, and even had a shot to win it there at the end, is quite remarkable. And so now we head to overtimes, and the other aspect of that, you know, these quarters go by so quickly, and now all of a sudden they're 3-minute periods. They go by in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody's in foul trouble or if that matters. The way that there were so many early fouls, you know, early contra fouls in the early part of the game, that has tapered off, and so the game's changed slightly in the way that it's being officiated and the way that it's being executed. We haven't seen much action from center. We'll see if that changes, if somebody can make some strong turn moves from 2 meters, perhaps.
Yeah, of course, we'll have a different sprinter as well for Punahou.
Right.
Stallsmith out, and looks like it'll be Zoe Pang.
Pang. Yeah, the freshman, number 7.
Of course, Kamehameha has their usual sprinter in there.
Yeah, all along. Alawang's going to be swimming. Her plan is to swim at UC Davis next year. I'm hoping that she'll also at least play club. Swim season's over in time for club season. You can go play club water polo. She would be an asset and help them.
Yeah, quick check of
the books. Got a good look there.
and McCarran with 2 for Punahou.
Okay.
And on the other side for Kamehameha, Gurney, Alawong, and Carlson with 2 as well.
By the time we get into overtime, sometimes the referees just let the play a little bit more. We'll see, or if they have to keep it under control. Looks like she looks like they've run out of room on the score sheet.
There's been a lot going on. I will say there's been a lot to keep track of with the
That's
exclusions,
right.
the goals. Of course, part of that score sheet, right, is the running tally of just about everything that goes on.
All the timeouts, everything. So they need a backup.
How about
a second paper?
How about the freshman Zoe Pang winning the sprint? She'll win it here.
Yeah, and she's a lefty. You'll notice she's swimming all the way across the pool.
She'll go back over to that 4-5 side. Much like in volleyball, right? You like to play those lefties on the right side. Improve your angle.
Yeah, Punahou hasn't had a left-hander in a long time.
And Gurney going to come up with a steal here. Kamehameha looking to go quick. Kimmy comes out of the goal.
That's smart.
Well done by Rhea Kimmy.
That was a good move because they were in trouble.
And the pass up to Lucky Wong. Just a little too direct. And Kimmy able to pounce on that one. Some excitement already, just 40 seconds into our first of 2 overtime sessions. And these teams will switch sides. We'll play 3 more minutes at the minimum. And again, some good defending down near 2 meters is Wong mixing it up.
With Kehlani Stewart. I think Stewart wanted that ball to come down. Well, she was raising her hand, but I'm not sure if she wanted it that high.
Kamehameha looking
Here comes
for the
Harvey.
driver there, yeah. Harvey with it. And that pass deflected away.
Yeah, Hope McCarran got her fingers on that. She's got a big arm span. Was able to just kind of tip that away.
Here's Stewart, the senior, going down line.
That's Ava inside.
Rob.
Ava Aguilera.
And it's going to be an exclusion on Harvey. That is her second.
Yeah, that ball got fed in from Robinson straight into Aguilera, who was facing the goal. Coach Ken's calling a 20-second timeout, just basically a regroup type of a timeout. Sometimes you substitute in this position, but see, he's not doing that. Just telling everybody to set up. We're about three possessions-ish to go in this quarter.
The Buff and Blue up 6-on-5 here. A chance to take the advantage in overtime. An excellent field block there.
Zoe Pang comes up with the ball. Oh, nope.
And we call a ball under on Punahou. And Harvey coming out of the penalty box, explodes here up the near side.
Yeah.
And she'll enter it inside, and a shot and a goal. As Wong able to go down to 2 meters, seal off her defender. And it's a pass from the freshman to the sophomore. Kailelani Harvey into Lucky Wong. And it's Kamehameha who takes the early advantage here in overtime.
That's a nice hard step out move. Again, Wong, that's the same spot that she put that other goal in when she was holding on tight.
So an 8-7 Kamehameha advantage. Robinson goes inside, looking for Aguilera. She'll draw to the ordinary. 38 seconds to go here. 16 to shoot. Aguilera trying to step
Little
out,
high
puts
on
that
that. Trying to do the same with the step out move on the far post.
About a 3-second differential. Shot and game clock.
Right, so
Punahou.
Kamehameha is just going to try to slow down and hold on to the ball for as long as they can. Well, they have 10 seconds to go, like you said, a couple second differential, and not give Punahou an opportunity to get one back before the end of this first period, this first overtime period.
And Harvey will indeed dump it with 2 seconds to go here. So Pang will have to go retrieve it and then make something happen real quick. She'll look for Kerber, and the clock will expire before Kerber can get the shot off. And we will head.
They'll switch sides here. Two teams will switch sides, and we have another, just a quick 2-minute transition here. But Kamehameha coming in with the 8-7 lead with 3 more minutes to go in overtime.
A 2-minute pause between the overtime periods. Crowd lively, energetic.
Yeah, and they're having a blast.
Just a highly competitive match. The level of play incredibly high. 3 minutes
All right,
at the minimum to decide this one. Kamehameha with the 8-7 advantage. Lutyi Wong, her goal in the first overtime period. Right now, the thin separation between these two.
for sure, and you can see in the huddle there, I could lip read the words defense. All they want to do is play good defense for 3 minutes, and they'll take home the trophy. Doesn't mean you gotta stop. You can't stop playing. Still 3 minutes. But I did see the words defense coming out of the mouths of the coaches and the players.
And at this point, right, the third game in 3 days for both of these two teams. For Kamehameha, their 4th game in 6 days, having to go through that first round on Monday. I mean, just
And remember,
how much exhaustion are these players feeling, right? Not just physically, but mentally as well.
But you remember also the first half in particular, the number of turnovers causing a lot of swimming. Like if they had a clock on them or a distance, to figure out how much distance they've been swimming, it is a lot. And when we get into overtime, fatigue is definitely a factor.
So again, the teams switch sides. Kamehameha and the Whitecaps will go from right to left.
Kamehameha Kapalama for the Warriors.
Remember, it was her goal late in the 4th quarter that tied things up, ultimately sent us to overtime.
That's right. That's what set this all up.
It'll be Pang again sprinting, this time against Brandon.
All right.
Giving Alawong a bit of a break, and it's Punahou controls the sprint. State championship match. 8th straight meeting in the HHSAA final between these two, and a 5-meter call to Aguilera.
That was a
doing all of the hard work down there.
Yeah, dangerous pass inside, but Aguilera made a very strong turn move with players all over her and was able to get a positioning foul here. We got Robinson, Sonova Robinson's going to come take this penalty.
And that is a penalty foul whistled against Lutyi Wong. That's her 2nd.
Okay. It is hard to keep track. Like we said, the score sheet needed to be extended. Here we go.
Robinson's 4th goal.
Tying it up.
Knots us up at 8. So 2:42 to go here in the second overtime. Robinson getting faked to go the wrong way. Each team has built leads. Each team has responded to every call thus far.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how even these teams are.
Harvey with it. She'll draw the ordinary. Fires it back up top to Wong. 10 to shoot now. 2:20 to play.
Wong to Wong. She's looking outside.
Here's Ala. She'll shoot and forces a save. Kimmy got up, got the left palm to it. It'll be a 2-meter.
Yeah, not a bad option. She's way out here at 9 meters, and she decides to take an outside shot. And going cross gauge high is the key statistically to having your goalkeeper block that out of bounds, and you get a new clock. New possession.
Fresh shot clock. 13 seconds gone. Now 15 to shoot for Kamehameha. Trying to go inside and
Regular foul, 2 hands.
Brandon off the quick restart from Wong. Able to finish, and it's Kamehameha who retakes the lead.
That was very complicated down there at center. So here we go. You'll see, oh, we can't quite see the, there was a quick hand transfer. Punahou was trying to intercept the ball or at least tip it away. And the player tipped it with her left and transferred it to her right. So 2 hands were on the ball at the same time.
Which is an order foul and a turnover, and Kamehameha able to recognize and react quickly. Wong going to Brandon, who has come up with some clutch shots. And now Brandon looking to chase that down. Got to it, but forced into a ball under to be back to Punahou. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. 90 seconds to go here. Buff and Blue back down 1. 20 to shoot now for the Buff and Blue. Looking to lob it, and fake is there.
Zoe Pang was open across the pool. Kamehameha's going to take as much time as they can off of the clock here.
We'll get it to Gurney. 14 to shoot. A minute now remaining here in our second overtime. Again, if it's still tied after this overtime period, we go to golden goal. Kamehameha clinging to that 1-goal advantage. They'll dump it into the corner. Kimmy will come get it. 45 seconds to play. Punahou needing another goal to respond. McCarron looking cross gauge, puts it wide. 35 seconds to play. The Buff and Blue will have to extend the pressure here, as Kamehameha will look to play keep away. Carlson able to draw that ordinary. Finds an outlet. Wong all alone in the middle of the pool. And a timeout called by Kamehameha.
All right, yeah, they're going to talk. There is a 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
So in theory, Punahou could get it back.
And I think
the Buff and Blues still have their timeout.
I was going to say,
overtime period.
Yeah.
So if they do get it back, they could call timeout, allow everybody to move down the pool setup. The question is, how much time will they have, right?
Right, and that's I assume that's why Anthony called that timeout, so that he could talk to his team, make sure they use every single second, and don't give Punahou any extra time. Coach Ken, on the converse, is probably giving them a heads up. This is what we will be doing. When we get the ball.
So defensively for Punahou as well, Sherry, right? You got to extend, got to take some chances.
Yeah, and at this point, with Kamehameha having possession and 18 seconds on the shot clock, they're going to use the whole clock, play keep away, and then likely dump it. And if Punahou's got their timeout left, they'll call their timeout and they'll try to set up something that's a 5-second play. That's the most they're going to have. I don't anticipate, you know, Kamehameha trying to get a goal here or bringing the goal, you know, other than having the goalkeeper be involved in this game of keep away. She's not coming, she's not gonna cross half.
So Kamehameha with 5 to shoot here. Wong is waiting to dump it. And she will toss it into the corner, and Kamehameha will give it up.
Yeah, there
with
should be
4
5
seconds. And Kamehameha, Punahou calls that timeout. And we'll check on the clock to make sure that I've got the accurate number on there. And it is 5 seconds for Punahou to try to tie this one up and send us to a third overtime. What more could you ask for, right?
It's very exciting. And there is a lot, there are a lot of bag of tricks. And you can hear the Kamehameha team talking to each other, saying no foul, because what they really want to do is not stop the clock. They want that clock to run out, and in 5 seconds they'll be ready to celebrate.
Or the nervous moments, right? The biggest of stages here at the prep level in the 808s. Punahou looking to draw something up, looking for a glass gasp.
Yeah, and they are allowed to set up on, you know, their front court. One player has to be on this side of half or at half.
So Buff and Blue will set up. They've got 5 players across the 6-meter mark. Kimmy will put it in play. Buff and Blue need a score here. Otherwise, it's back-to-back for Kamehameha. Some chaos. They get Aguilera free. She'll fire off the bar, and the horn will sound. And the
that was close.
Kamehameha Warriors
wins it.
go back-to-back and claim the 2024 HHSAA State Championship.
Back-to-back champions. For the Warriors, Punahou had a good look. They had their strong shot, good opportunity, upper right corner, ball just, there it is, just off the post.
Only fitting between these two programs that now finish 3-3 head-to-head against each other over 6 meetings.
Yeah.
That had come down to a shot with just seconds left, and the margin between these two may be just about the width of the bar.
The width of the bar. That was very close. Disappointed players here for Punahou, and yet they fought the hard-fought perseverance there on the side of Kamehameha, just plugging away. Like you said, after going up early, it could have easily had momentum swinging straight to them the entire game, but boy, back and forth. Heartbroken Punahou players. There's 2 of their seniors on the bench in the last, well, since the fourth quarter for all of overtime. But congratulations to the Warriors. They pulled off a very exciting win.
Yeah, just an incredible match. Kamehameha winning their just their 3rd ever state championship. As we get a look at our players of the match for Punahou, Sonova Robinson, every bit is advertised. Still 2 more years in the Punahou cap. She is just incredible doing it outside, inside, just so dangerous.
Yeah, she can hold her head. Both teams can hold their head high. Again, just unbelievable to have another overtime game. They've met in overtime, what, 4 out of 6 times?
4 out of the 6, including the last 3.
Yeah,
And
just fantastic. Really, really good for the sport of water polo. And it's great to have parity. Oh, there they go.
everybody in.
Get them in. Toss them in.
Or Kamehameha in the pool and standing by with our player of the game for the victorious Warriors. Let's send it over to Keely.
I'm here with Kamehameha School's number 7, Lutty Long. Lutty, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling so blessed right now. I'm so happy we got to defend our school at our home. And this is just amazing. All of our seniors have been so awesome, and we're going to miss them so much. I feel so happy right now.
What is one thing that your team did successfully tonight?
I think our team did successfully at keeping our heads together. Even if we made a mistake or something, we'd bounce back and we get that goal right back into the goal. Yeah, we get the ball.
Congratulations again, Lutty.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Back to you at the desk.
Thanks a lot, Keely. Yeah, we'll let Lutty go jump in the pool with everybody and celebrate
That's
over there.
right. There she goes.
Again, just the youth in the pool tonight, Sherry, right? Lutty Wong,
Yeah,
just
only
a
a
sophomore, of course, playing in her final match with her sister Ala Wong. That's got to be special for that family as well. But for her to come out and really kind of show a full array, including this goal, right?
Look
that
at
was
that.
late. That really put Kamehameha on the front foot in overtime.
Yeah, that's just really, that shows so much composure, so much fortitude. Really, really great job by the whole team, and Lutty well deserved as player of the game. Amazing.
And we'll send it back over to Keely, who's standing by with now a drenched, but nonetheless happy winning coach in Anthony Cabrera. Keely.
I'm here with the winning team's coach, Anthony. Coach Anthony, how are you feeling right now?
I feel really, really good right now. This is just an awesome win. The girls put in so much hard work during the season and the off season. Just an awesome, they just did an awesome job tonight.
Who do you think stepped up and led your team tonight?
Our seniors really did a good job. They really stepped up, and we got a nice goal from Wailele. I just couldn't ask much more for my seniors. They did an awesome job tonight.
Do you have anything to say to the fans out there?
I just thank you for the support. You guys were great. The atmosphere tonight was amazing. I love you guys.
Awesome. Congratulations again, Coach Anthony. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks a lot, Keely. Yeah, Coach Anthony always keeps it succinct, it's good for timeouts. He keeps the message short and sweet. But this Kamehameha program and, the rivalry that has developed over the years, and obviously, going back a while now. But for Punahou, kind of always having the upper hand. But now the Warriors proven to be quite the formidable foe. And really, now that these teams have battled over the last couple of years and going forward, and we mentioned all of the, the youth, the underclassmen who will be back next year. This could go on for a while, Sherry,
sure
beyond
could.
just this year, beyond just last year. And, I would be surprised if we get a similar sort of script next year.
I would not be surprised either, and I do think it's so good for the sport of water polo to have this kind of parity, to have these really exciting, tough matches. Listen to them. They deserve it. They've worked very, very hard, and this was a group effort, and I agree with Anthony. The seniors really stepped up, and they just led their team with oh, I just congratulate them. Very good job.
All right, we'll have the trophy presentation for you as well, and to take us through those festivities, let's send it over to the public address announcer here at Kalani Pu'upu, Mr. Kurt I.
We're going to do the presentation now of the team trophies shortly. So our medal presentations is for Rhea Kimi, Izzy Kneeling, number 2, Bella Nikolai. We're going to do these in order, girls. Number 3, Kailoa Kerber. Number 4, Reese Stallsmith. Number 5, Jaden Ching. Number 6, Ollie Clooney. Number 7, Zoe Pang. Number 8, Kaylee Psyche. Number 9, Hope McCarran. Number 10, Maria Weldon. Number 11, Ava Aguilera. Number 12, Kaya Cheney. Number 13, Sarah Nagel. Number 14, Kaylani Stewart. Number 15, Sonova Robinson. And if we can have a representative to accept, and our coaches. And a representative, maybe the team captain, to accept the second place trophy. Congratulations, Punahou. How about a hand again for the Punahou Buff and Blue? And now for our Kamehameha Warriors. We start out with number 1, Makana Fake. Number 1A, Ta'ua Kimsel. Number 2, Kyle Harvey. Number 3, Charlie Nakagawa. Number 4, Wailele Kapali. Number 5, Kaimi Tarada. Number 6, La'i Kapua Winchester. Number 7, La'i Wong. Number 8, Ava Gurney. Number 9, Ala Wong. Number 10, Kavanna Newman. Number 11, Ava Carlson. Number 12, Taya Brandon. Number 13, Makamai Pasqua Mitchell. Number 14, Elsie Kamanu. And number 15, Kaialea Tanner. And if we can have the team captains come up to accept the first place trophy, please. Congratulations again to the 2024 HHSAA.
Back here with Sherry Smart, and just an incredible week of water polo. All the action here at Kalani Pool over the last 3 days as well. And congratulations to Kamehameha for winning their second consecutive state championship, 3rd overall. Sherry, before we head out of here, I'll give you the final thought as the Warriors once again come out on top.
Yeah, my only thoughts are good job. Good job, water polo. Good job, Kamehameha. Good job, Punahou. I just love it. I love the parity. I love the fact that there's competition and that these young women have accepted the challenge, and just good water polo.
Yeah, incredible championship match. Did want to pass on some scores from earlier today as well. Ilani defeated Kaiser for 3rd place, and Kahuku defeated Roosevelt in the 5th place match to start us off here in the final day of the tournament. That'll do it for us. Again, congratulations to Kamehameha in overtime, defeating Punahou 9-8 to claim their 2nd consecutive state championship. We thank everybody for tuning into this presentation of the Koya Hotel's HHSAA Girls Water Polo State Championships.
Aloha.